All right, in about 45 minutes, the IEC is going to give a briefing at the Results Operations Centre on how voting has progressed so far. Let's go now to my colleague, Nompumelelo Siziba, who is there. A very good afternoon to you again, Nompumelelo. Give us a sense of what's happening where you are.
Very much, Nzinga. Yes, well, of course, there is a hive of activity. Political parties have now begun to take their seats here at the Rock. Of course, they're going to be very keenly watching the voting process. So we're getting a lot of people filling up the venue, lots of journalists obviously here, and other stakeholders. And there's a really positive vibe. As you mentioned, of course, the IEC set to give us a briefing at around 1 o'clock. I suppose they're just going to be updating us on the voting day thus far. And of course, those viewers at home must be aware that they do have about 6.5 hours, 6 hours and 45 minutes left to vote, and they should definitely exercise their right as soon as they can. Remember, if you can, to take a pen, given that we're living in a COVID pandemic. Of course, I'm also joined here at the Rock by my colleague Liabo Setho, who is on the ground for us. Liabo, let's hand over to you. Tell us what's happening where you are.
Thanks, Nompu. Yes, I'm definitely on the ground of the Rock. This is where political parties, as you said earlier on, started to take position. The officials, they're busy working. We'll be speaking to them to find out how they're feeling towards now that a lot of voting stations have opened. When we take a look, Nompu, at the leaderboard, I see that it's not on yet, but a short while ago it showed that 99.99% of voting stations have been opened. And I also noted that in Northwest, 100% of voting stations have been opened. This indicates obviously a positive, it is a positive indication that people are going out in their numbers and making their mark. But what I do want to do now is speak to political parties that are here on the floor where I am based, just to find out how they are feeling. And first up on my left, I see that the PAC is here. Dumelang, hi everyone. I just want to find out how are you feeling with, most of the voting stations opened? What are your officials saying outside? Are you satisfied with how things have started?
No, the things have gone well so far, except the exceptions that we got in the morning, particularly from eThekwini and Mbubulu when the staffing was happening. But generally, we are getting good feedback from the ground in terms of what's going on.
You will be based here and maybe take our viewers through what exactly it is that you do on this desk here.
Basically, on this desk, there are a number of issues that we do. We receive complaints on our own portal, firstly, where we use technology. In the digital age, you find that particularly the WhatsApp and the website, our people are able to call us and be able to issue any complaints that they have in mind. Then if the issue is just internal or is just a query, we are able to respond immediately to them and be able to direct them. If an issue is an objection, then we take it up. Firstly, we log with the IEC, then we follow up on the consistent meetings that are here as well with other political parties. If it needs more engagement, we engage our partners who are around here to see if it needs more attention beyond ourselves as a party.
Thank you so much. Let me move over to other desks to find out. Oh, we've got the UDM here, Noms. Dumelang, Lekai. I'm just finding out what is the mood like with, us having opened, the voters' roll have opened, people have started. Are you satisfied with what is happening outside? Are your members getting a good feedback? I'm not sure who will be speaking to me.
Yes, we are happy. We are happy with the situation so far. We haven't received much complaints, except that in Mirafong, some people who registered on the 18th and 19th, they claim not to appear on the voters' roll. They've been turned away. So we are following up on that one. We are going to be checking it. And the same situation happened in the city of Johannesburg, in Ward 57. They are also sent to their old VGs. So we are going to check, and the IEC has provided the list of those voters who were not included in the certified voters roll. So we are going to check against that. We have still requested the ID numbers. So far everything goes well.
So there is a talk about the credibility of these elections. Are you feeling confident that they will come out as free and fair, even though you have some of the, the teething problems that you have just alluded to, Me?
Well, I don't want to make any predictions. We have faith in the IEC. Let me start there. They have been doing this for years. But this is an abnormal situation where even campaigning was a mammoth task. Even voting is still the mammoth task, because some people are scared of going to the voting stations because of the virus and all that. So we cannot really say it's going to be free and fair. The violence that's starting to crop up on the ground is also of concern to us as political parties. When you hear about this on the news, for instance, with us, we have lost some members already, especially in the Eastern Cape. We have lost 2 residential places in the city of Johannesburg, Orange Farm area, where they were burnt down by the PLF members. So we have those situations where we cannot contain the intolerance that is down there, but we still have faith on the IEC. Yes, we do.
Thank you very much. Nompu, obviously the issue of campaigning during a pandemic has been one that has come up a lot of times, because you can imagine that, convincing people to come out in their numbers when people have gone through so much with maybe they've had COVID, and some of them are still suffering from things like a long COVID, and people are concerned. Remember, you mentioned the issue about people bringing their own pens, and we still encourage people to bring their own pens when they go out to vote, and try as much as possible to make sure that when they vote, they still observe COVID protocol. I know that I don't have a lot of time, but in the third hour of On Point, I'll be speaking to more political parties. We've got the DA, we've got the EFF. We will be speaking to them to find out about their views and how everything is going. But for now, let me link back to Nastasia in Auckland Park.